something sweet maybe after dinner, but you either don't want to go out and spend too much money on it, or maybe you just got home from work, you're tired, and you don't feel like jumping in your car and driving off somewhere to buy some little dessert. Your rest is more important to you. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a dessert that is inexpensive to make, approximately $2, $3, maybe $4, and you can make it in the comfort of your own home. It takes about 5 minutes to put together, and basically the only time you spend is when you go in and check to make sure it's ready. Every country, at least in Latin America, has their own version of it, starting from Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, Spain, even the Philippines have their own version of this dessert. Today I'm going to show you how to make flan. The version of flan that we're going to make is the Mexican style flan. This recipe's been in my family for a little while now. I modified it to give me the results that I'm happy with, so you can do the same once you have the recipe. Now, I'll start by giving you a list of ingredients. I'll continue by giving you the order of operation, and I will conclude by giving you a finished product. The first and foremost important thing is, before you touch any of the ingredients, you have to turn on the oven to 375. That will ensure that the oven is ready to go when the batter is ready to go. So, the second most important thing, and I'll tell you what that is after I list the ingredients. For ingredients, we need 3 eggs, which I've taken a little bit already, cracking open, half a cup of sugar, 4 ounces of whipped cream, which is half of this 8-ounce container. You need 7 to 8 ounces of sweet condensed milk. This is the one I use, and these come in 14 to 16 ounces, so half of that as well. You also need milk and 1 cinnamon stick. I didn't give you a measurement on the milk because you'll understand as we go along how that really doesn't matter much. We do need it, but the measurement is secondary. Now, the first thing we do is we take the sugar, half a cup, not a coffee cup, but a measuring cup, and we pour it into this container. We cook it on medium heat to ensure that it's going to melt slowly. We don't want to put high heat because it'll burn. If it burns, your flan tastes burnt. We don't want that taste. So while that burns, we'll start with our ingredients. We first start, now one thing that's important about these, the order that you put them in here is not important. It really isn't relevant because they're going to get mixed together, so it doesn't matter. Now the first thing that goes in here is the eggs. But you got to be fragile with the eggs if you know what I mean. So the next thing that goes in is the sweet condensed milk. We put the sweet condensed milk in there, get it all in there, nice and gooey. That's in there. Next goes in is the sweet condensed milk. I mean the whipped cream, half of it. So we put all that in there. Now as you notice, it's not all the way full. That's where the milk comes into play. Some blenders are bigger than others, so the amount that it can take is different. So what we do now is we take the milk and we pour in until the material surfaces to the top. Approximately 1/4 of a gallon will do. Once it raises to the top, then we cover it and we start blending. Now as you notice, some of the particles stuck to the wall. The way you get rid of those is you stop the blender and you hit it on high, allowing it to create a suction that'll rip those things right out of the walls. Now typically I would leave the blender on while I'm doing the caramel, but to cut down the somatic noise, we're going to leave that just the way it is. We now take the caramel, it's warm. When it's done, it's going to look something like this. It's not going to be burnt, it's going to be perfect brown. And what we do is we pour it in here, and we take this around, try to mix it evenly on the bowl. Now I don't care if this looks like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, or your Uncle Joe. It's not going to matter. Once you put the material in it, the heat of the oven is going to melt the burnt sugar, and it's going to make it evenly spread, giving you that brown, crisp look on the top of the flan. So now, we take the batter, and we put it in the tray. Now you'll hear some cracking noises. Nothing wrong with your pot. In this particular case, it's cooled down already, so it won't matter. It's in there. Now, we add the cinnamon. This will give it a cinnamony taste when you're done with it. Now, you can't put this in the oven the way it is because it'll give you a gooey, nasty, gummy thing. It won't be anything close to a dessert. So you don't want that. So you want to do what they call in Mexico is baño de María. And what that is, it's a bigger container with water in it, and you allow the bowl itself to float within the bigger container. This is approximately how much water I measured I would need. So we put the container in here, and as you can tell, it will surface, it will float like a little boat. So in conclusion, we put this into the oven. Now what you got to remember is that the oven is not ready to go. We leave it in here And we put it in for about an hour. On the hour, you come and you check. You take a butter knife and you pierce it through the batter. If it comes out clean, you're done. If it doesn't, then you take a 15-minute increment and you keep checking. When it is done and it comes out clean, turn off the oven and let the oven cool down. When the oven is completely cool, then you take the flan itself and you move it over to the refrigerator, cool it for about another hour. That'll give you a more consistent. You can eat it warm, but it's a lot firmer if you put it in the oven. So, it's been about an hour, so let's see how our dessert came out. Look at that. Perfect. Now, my oven's magic, so it changes the dish and everything else around it, but this is pretty much how it's going to look. So if any of you would like to partake in this, feel more than welcome. It's going to be sitting over there. Thank you very much.